Welcome to Howz Yer Stool, the show where we pull up a stool and find out if things are really going. Not just the gigs, not just the music, but what's happening when the amps and lights get turned off. Because if you ask a musician how they're doing, you'll get one answer, but if you check their stool, you might get the truth. I'm your host, Dave Randall, and today I'm sitting down with the blues man, Paolo Stante. So let's get a stool sample. Well, hello, folks. We're here again for another episode of Howz Yer Stool. And today I'm sitting down with Paolo Stante, and we're going to find out some more about him and what he's been up to. And welcome, Paolo.
Good to be here, man.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Thanks for driving all the way out to St. Lazare.
Yeah, well, not that far.
Frontier town.
Frontier town?
That's what I call it.
20 minutes drive either way.
Yeah.
If I'm coming from from Milperot or if I'm coming from the country.
Oh, okay.
Nice in the middle.
Yeah. As long as you don't have to do the Illotort Bridge, which is still a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah. Really try to avoid that as much as humanly possible.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's a beautiful day out there for now. And, we're going to have a bit of a chat. And, we start off everybody say, where are you from? Where were you born? And where do you live now? And all that kind of stuff. And
so, okay, no problem. So I was born in Montreal. Same with my two older brothers. It's funny how I always answer this question of where you're from or grew up, because I kind of grew up both on the Ontario side in the country, and also, in Montreal, West Island and Saint Leonard and all that, because family was really in Montreal and around. Mm-hmm. And my dad was the one he was traveling a lot, so he wanted to be in the country and kind of a central place because at the time he was working both in Montreal and Toronto and Ottawa and all over. So he wanted a little kind of central hub.
Right.
So I got the best of both worlds, both being a country boy and city boy, I guess.
Oh, that's nice.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. Which do you prefer?
Country.
Country.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
especially during lockdowns and all that, the country was way better.
Oh, yeah, you had some open space to move around in. Great.
Yeah,
cool,
fresh air. So.
All right. So, but you grew up in the Montreal area.
Yeah, I would say it's
half and half.
It really was half and half, because when I went to school out in Ontario, but every weekend we were always here.
Right.
My brothers and I played sports and all the activities and see family and all that. So it really was half and half.
Okay, cool. So in your family, young man, you're coming up. But when did you get inspired by music? When did you get the bug, so to speak?
Well, my family was always musical. I had cousins that played music, but they didn't pursue it as a profession or anything. I was told that my great-grandfather, while he was still in Italy, he played music, and they toured.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually just refurbished his classical guitar. It was, it's in a playable condition, but it was more for a sentimental value. But
sure.
But you could do a few things.
Mm-hmm.
But my parents are real music lovers, especially my father.
Mm-hmm.
So all that really got blasted throughout growing up. Me and my brothers. Actually, my brother Carlo, he used to play the drums. He was actually on one of my albums too.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But he stopped. But sometimes you hopefully get him back on it,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He was always just a natural drummer.
So what music did you start listening? Were you a CKGM guy or Show'em guy?
I was really a lot on Show'em.
Show'em, yeah.
And always in the car, traveling a lot back and forth.
Okay, yeah.
Especially because my brothers had hockey and I was still, in a car seat. And so, heard Show'em a lot, and whatever mixtape my dad
and what was on
there.
What would be on his mixtape?
Well, Beatles for sure,
Yeah.
Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin,
Mm-hmm.
The Who, Bad Company, Guess Who, some Peter Frampton,
Well, that's a good grounding.
All of the stuff from the 60s and 70s, and even a bit earlier too, when you're going back to the 50s, Little Elvis and things like that.
Very cool.
You know.
And was there a particular style that you gravitated towards? Like, you're a blues player now.
Yeah,
I guess it would be fair to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the blues rock kind of thing, and my father did have some blues albums, like some the best of B.B. King and and things like that, and some Muddy Waters. And as I really started to when I started to play, and not just idolizing or learning off of Clapton and Hendrix and all them, you start going back to what they're listening to. Muddy Waters, and even further back, Son House and
the Delta
blues stuff. Robert Johnson. So you start to understand the building blocks.
Sure. Yeah. And was guitar your first instrument that you picked up, and how did you come to that?
So I always wanted to play guitar ever since I was 3 years old. And I always tell the story, and people think it's fake, but I swear to God, it's the truth. Because the first time I ever saw the movie Back to the Future, you know where I'm going with this. You see, Marty McFly, up there playing Johnny Be Good. And the first time I saw it, I was no bigger than 3. And
like, you're making me feel so old.
Yeah. But that really did it. But for whatever reason that I still don't understand from my parents, as I got a little older, maybe 8 or something, they put me in piano lessons.
Okay.
Not guitar.
Okay.
So I still don't understand that. But anyway, I was good at it, but I wasn't crazy about the teacher at the time, so I did let it go. So when I actually started to play guitar was when my brother bought a guitar. And he learned a few riffs, Enter Sandman and stuff. But how it is. Okay, it's cool, and put it in the closet. And it was always just sitting there, and I always picked it up and just strummed. I was like, I want to play guitar. So finally, when I was like 13 or 14, I finally started to take lessons.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, and look at me now,
Making a living out of it.
So far, working on making a living out of it, I guess.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, isn't it?
And you didn't start gigging when you were 3, so and then you had a few years of learning. You took some lessons, and at what point did you feel drawn towards the blues specifically?
It just sort of naturally happened. I took lessons from a guy we probably all know, Doug Miller.
Yep.
In St. Anne de Bellevue. I took lessons from him for almost 10 years or so.
Wow.
And Doug he's really a jazz guy at heart, but he was a great teacher because he showed me everything. And the jazz chords and stuff, and some bluegrass licks. But when I didn't start with that. I started with just a dun 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 dun, just a real 12 bar.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just naturally happened. I can't really explain. It's just like I like doing this,
Yeah.
And then listening to, like I said, starting to go back and listen to the rock legends, their heroes, which were really blues guys.
Yeah.
I mean, early rock and roll too.
Especially the British ones.
Yeah. I mean, early rock and roll too. I mean, Buddy Holly and all them too.
Sure.
But that's all based on blues music. So
yeah.
So you get to the roots.
They stole it.
They stole it. They took it to the next level, which is what you're supposed to do.
And I think to some extent those old blues guys credit them for revitalizing their music.
They do, because it's really because of them and the Rolling Stones and all those guys that popularized them or put them on the radar, and they all went to England, and that's when they actually started to make money and not get totally ripped off and everything.
Yeah.
So they credit them 100%, which is good,
Yeah,
both ways. I mean, they were, Led Zeppelin, they were never shy. I mean, we know that they did take certain songs or whatever, and they had to settle that with court and all. But they were always very straight ahead. Yeah, this is blues from so-and-so and whatever.
Oh, yeah. They were big Willie Dixon fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I remember when I was starting out guitar, I never had the benefit of lessons. I think my parents did sign me up for lessons, but it wasn't really working. I felt like I was, because I joined a class in progress, and I felt like I couldn't keep up. I was like, I can't do what these kids are doing. They'd had maybe 2 or 3 weeks of lessons more than me, but it was enough for me to go, man, yeah, I'm not doing good. And then, this is well before YouTube, so I really didn't have any direction other than
it was harder.
This little pink booklet that came inside the Consumers Distributing Guitar that I had in my closet. And so I learned the basic chords. Yeah. And it was really when I started getting together with friends, and at the time we were big fans of Led Zeppelin and blues-based rock at the time in the 70s. And blues seemed to be we started to gravitate towards blues because, and I don't mean this as any insult to the genre, but it was easy, it was 3 chords.
I know what you mean.
Even before I knew what 1-4-5 was, we were playing.
I know it's easy in the sense that it's basic, but it's also very complex kind of thing as well. There's always beauty in the subtleties, It's things like that.
Yes.
But I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, it's easier doing that technically than going, doing 2-5-1 and with the diminished and all that stuff and a bunch of things flying around at different chord shapes every bar or something, So I get that.
Yeah. So it was a common ground for all of us, no matter what our particular interests were. We could all say, okay, we're going to play 1-4-5 and G, and everyone take a turn soloing over that. And but I what you're saying, I very much agree with that. The blues can be common, unless played with a deeper understanding of the music than just a 1-4-5 progression and playing a pentatonic minor scale over the top of it. But I kind of diverged into more classic rock than just strictly blues. Did you find, so for instance, do you do jam nights? You must participate.
I used to host, when I started learning, I did go to a lot of jam nights, especially at the Smoke Me Pete's at the time. And there's really nothing better than getting thrown into the fire, And I was lucky to come in at a time because I befriended some really great musicians who weren't just blues players, but they also did funk, and some James Brown and all that. And once they saw me coming around that I could hold my own and keep up, at the time, it was like, okay, we're going to start messing with the kid. And they did, and they start throwing it the Tower of Power and all that. I'm like, what the hell is this? So that was great learning for me, and just to get out of the single pentatonic box shape and 3 chords.
Yeah.
But I've done. I still pop in every once in a while on an off night if a friend is hosting a jam. If I'm at back home visiting the folks in Glengarry.
Oh, okay.
If the local jam there at the Atlantic Pub.
The Atlantic Pub, right? Yeah.
A friend of mine hosts it, so I was like, if I'm free, why not just pop in, say hi, have a drink, play a few tunes, and that's it. I used to host a lot of jams, but I don't do that much anymore because I just don't want to. I've done my tour of duty.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I am going to be hosting a jam for the listeners. God, I don't have the date though. It's in September with Jeff Starr and his all-star band.
Oh yeah,
it's at McAllen's. Got to check that. I wish I had the date. Sorry,
I'll put it on.
But I'm sure it's up. I think they have it. But any jammers want to come by to that, more than welcome to. So have some fun.
I've played for a long time and used to have no problem stepping into a jam, but I'm a little intimidated now. I'm a little rusty to get up there, and there's a lot of good players out there. But yeah,
So I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no.
It's also the right kind of jam too, with the right kind of people hosting it,
Right.
not ego or also don't know how to host. Where like there are people, and I'm not gonna, they just they play a few. Okay, we'll bring up jammers, and then they just take off and no one's reeling in the ring, holding the reins or anything. It just goes south very quickly.
I understand. I've witnessed different kinds like that where, say the host, it's basically their show, and they'll let somebody come up once in a while. When
See, that's a different thing too. It's not a show.
Yeah,
it's a jam night.
It's a jam night.
Do 3 or 4 songs, your band or whatever, to get a volume and check and get a vibe, and then bring people up one at a time, or if they're together, try to keep the house band together so that you have the, if they're not so good or they're starting out, you could keep it on the rails a bit.
Yeah. And I mean, what you're saying about the host, like going off to the bar or something and just leaving. No. You got it's work to keep the jam flowing and keep it together and keeping people in and out and so on.
Plus you got patrons too.
Exactly.
If you're at a restaurant, you can't clear the room. You got to keep them there, or
exactly.
at the bar, they got to keep them. It's a double. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's a hard, and I did it for a long time, and I learned very well from my buddy Jeff Starzinski, who was great at it. And but like I said, he was with those guys that I came in, when I was 16 or something. It started to show up. I was lucky because I saw how they ran it and whatever, and I took what they did, and just whenever I had to be the boss man or whatever, I kind of based it on what they were doing and how they did it, and it was pretty fair.
Yeah,
you do get the odd. Well, they'll how come this and this and that. So I'm like, look, man, everyone plays 2 to 3 songs. Try to make it equal. And I generally, it's not so much the people that are like beginners. Beginners aren't really, they're shy, whatever. Yeah, it's cool, man. Come on up. It's cool. Or if you get a kid or whatever, I'm like, oh man, come on, Or even some older person or almost elderly that just picked it up because they retired and whatever. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, come play, And it's more that the ones that can play, but they can't play in the sense they can't play with other people. Yeah, they're just there to show off. And,
yes,
and I just like that's why I'm done. I'm not doing any more jams. Like once in a blue moon, but that's it.
The other thing with jams that I found difficult, so you say, okay, well, somebody wants to come up, they want to do a song. What song do you want to do? Yeah. Can we do "Sweet Child of Mine" from Guns N' Roses? I'm like, no, like unless you can sing it. Yeah. No. And do you know all the chords? Do you know the arrangement?
Again, you want to.
Come on.
You want to keep it, or at least if you know the band, if you're friends with them and you talk to them, hey, do you mind if we... Sometimes you can.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can, or, again, it depends how good you are or close friends or something. If you text them and say, hey, I really want to try this. Do you guys know this or can learn it? Sometimes you can.
Yeah.
There have been times where someone asked me, can you learn this? I said, I'll try, but I'm kind of busy. Sometimes I'm able to do it. Sometimes I can't just because of time.
Yeah. And well, that's kind of what makes the jams. They can be hit or miss. I've been out, excuse me, I've been out to the Atlantic once. They're, one of my friends, Marty Laporte, is the drummer who sort of hosts the.
Hit the mic, sorry.
That's okay. And he has a ton of energy for that stuff. I remember when I talked to him about it, like.
Well, he's a good guy. Martin's
he's such a good guy.
He's a sweetheart.
He's got such a great, friendly attitude towards music, and he teaches too. And
that's why. You have to have a lot of patience.
Yes,
I've taught too, but I haven't taught any small kids.
Right.
They were more teenagers.
Okay.
Which is easy. So I don't have the experience of teaching. Well, that's not true. I did teach one. It was Jeff's daughter. She was like maybe 6 or 7 at the time. So I have a little bit of experience showing some chords. But to really teach like a small child, that's a different animal altogether. So I don't know. Teenagers are a little easier,
Yeah, I tried giving lessons to, and one of my first customers was a young girl, maybe 7 or 8 or something, and like she seemed keen and interested. She'd gotten a guitar for Christmas, and Mom wanted her to, and so I came with what I felt were appropriate songs for person that age, and they're not cool songs. They are literally "She'll Be Coming Round the Mountain," that was the first song I ever learned from that little pink booklet that was in my.
I learned "Happy Birthday." That's it.
There you go. But some of them, they want, can we do Taylor Swift? And I'm like, I can, prepare that for you if you want to do it next week, but you got to practice this, and then I come back
so
next
you
week.
can play all the songs.
And that's the thing is the motivation that doesn't happen between this time and the next time.
I never had, as a Sunai, I never had that problem, and because I wanted to learn. I still do, and I never go with like if someone does something that I don't know how to do, I'm like, how the hell did you do that? And I'm like, try to see to learn it, because I'm like, man, that's cool. How did you do that? And just that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the idea. I mean, going back to Doug, he even said do all these hard chords, And at one point he showed me weather report and things like that. I'm like, now that's the heavy duty stuff.
Yeah.
We said, but if you could do this and make your fingers move all this stuff, all that rock and stuff that you love, it'll
come easier.
It'll just come much easier.
Yeah.
Technically wise.
Yeah.
When you get into the emotion and all that, that's a little bit different. But if you're just teaching technique, yeah.
What were those years that you were taking lessons with Doug?
I started when I guess I was going on 14. And I think I stopped taking lessons at 22, 23 maybe.
Okay.
Around there. It was almost a 10-year.
And what years were those?
Oh, years. I started in 2003, I think it was.
Okay.
14, so it was 2003.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so he was teaching you fundamental guitar or songs?
Everything. From the ground up. I went in, and he'd say he preferred that way because no hard habits to break.
Yeah.
It was a clean slate.
Okay. Cool.
Literally, okay, this is an E, A, D, G, B, E. Just E, F sharp, G sharp, just basics.
Yeah.
Right from the ground floor.
Well, that's good. So my guitar experience was kind of, in the beginning, I learned what I could learn. This is 1977. Yeah. And there was no YouTube and
no tabs.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. You got was a lot harder because you got to put the needle back and then put
exactly.
You got to do that.
Yeah.
And I was actually, again, I was lucky because in the early 2000s, that's when the internet really started.
Yeah.
Even if that was still before YouTube, but you had tabs. Now, there were mostly bad tabs.
Yeah.
Those got better. But that was easier. Now things are even to a whole other degree, and apps teaching, which those kinds of things for internet, I think is great. That you could learn things. It's kind of what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Not to go down that rabbit hole or whatever, but able to access anything to learn how to do stuff. But there's still no substitute for someone actually being there, because they could literally put your finger, okay, no, it's here and here. Like, they could be a little more tactile. And plus, when you're playing with somebody, you learn how to keep time or follow one another, and
that's very important. Absolutely. That's a whole other level.
That's
of
another.
learning.
That's another
that's beyond
beast.
Just learning the guitar.
No,
one of my favorite moments was so we're young, we're 17, maybe 18, and in getting together on a Friday or Saturday night in someone's basement, and just we scrounged guitars up and stuff. And I remember somebody had borrowed an electric guitar and amp, and it was one of the first times we had access to an electric guitar, and we all took turns going around the room, and I was learning bar chords, and it just happened. I was just playing the guitars, practicing my bar chords, and then I landed on a B, and it was like, holy crap, this is jumping jack flash. This is how you play jumping.
Wait, that's how you do it?
It just jumped out. No, probably not the right way to play it, of course. But
doesn't matter.
But it was, and that's when my circle of friends that were learning guitar, that's when we started trading off things. It's great to learn from somebody else. So I had the Mapes where I lived in Point Claire, so I was walking distance to the Mapes. We used to go down there and just stare at the musicians all the time there, and try and pick up what we could. So as I said, my guitar life was in two parts. There's the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Dropped out, went back to university, came back. And by the time I came back in the 2000s, when I say come back, I mean actually picked up guitars again. MP3s existed, which was awesome. No longer had to put the needle back. And
again, that was a double-edged sword, but that's a different story. But yeah.
And then a piece of software I found, a piece of freeware. This is way back, and I worked in computer science, so I was familiar with all the nooks and crannies of what was the beginning of the internet then. Yeah. And I found this. I still have it, a copy of it. It's called The Amazing Slowdowner, and it would slow down the speed without changing the pitch of it. And I was like, that makes it a lot easier.
There it is. Okay.
Yes. In real time, it's just blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And what the hell is
damn
that?
It, how you do that?
Exactly. Yeah. And then, of course, today, Jesus, YouTube, man. I mean, I go to YouTube now when I want to learn.
I still do.
I mean, I'm not learning any songs to perform anymore, but I hear something and I go, oh, I'd love to learn how to play that. And there are 1,000 guys out there, guys and girls, giving detailed lessons.
Yeah, there are some real good ones. I follow a few of them.
Yeah.
And like I said, oh, that's cool. How do you do that? And I try to do that. Or even because I'm not a gearhead in the sense that, pedals and all that. No, very little pedals. Even the pedals that I have, I find it's too much at times. But I only mainly use one and use the volume on my guitar to clean it up. But I like it, and just lessons in how to set certain things up or try or things like that to try to go on that route as well, and people that have toured, like left the country, go to overseas, and how did they do it, or what's some good advice them to give, how to pack your guitars or your things like that. The more like the road lessons, I guess, because I haven't had really an opportunity yet to go overseas yet.
Okay,
working on that.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. See how things turn out in the world, but we won't get into that. So.
When did you? Just stay in Canada. It's a good place to be right
for now. I'm okay right now. So,
when did you get interested in performing, and what was your first experience in that?
Again, it was really going to the jams.
Yeah.
I think the first time I went to Pete's, I might have been 16 or 17 or around there, in between. Can't remember exactly. Plus, once my music teacher at school heard me play, and I wasn't even in the music class at the time, but I was just playing and just doing just simple and learning how to solo, bending, and it was just very basic. Without asking me, she signed me up to the jazz band or concert band.
Nice.
Signed me up for like the talent shows or the Christmas shows and stuff, things like that. So those were really my first steps in it.
And did you like performing?
I was a nervous wreck, but I did. I to this day I still get nervous, but nervous in the sense of logistics wise, where we got to be here, we got to do that. oh boy, I hope things don't blow up or whatever. But that's completely stuff out of control. Your amp blows, well, it blows up. I can't bring stacks, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
once start playing,
Yeah.
then okay, I'm playing. I'm cool now.
Yeah.
You know, I just calm down and I just play.
And
it feels good.
what was your first band then? Your own band, your own guys?
We had some things a little bit in high school. Again, it was a rural area. You know, I went to school in Alexandria.
Yep.
Glengarry District High School. But there were actually a lot of musicians there. But it's a very Celtic.
Sure. Yeah.
Because over there it's Scottish.
Yeah.
It's actually Scottish, French, and Dutch. Like
Yeah.
the population really.
Right.
So there were a lot of fiddle players. And
Okay.
real good ones. And
Yeah.
and there's some that still tour and Ireland and all that, like they could really play the fiddle.
Right.
But the guitars, they were at the time, doing a lot of I couldn't really find anyone to do the classic rock, not much of it.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing stuff like the Celtic music, which I
Right.
learned how to do, which is also good to know how to do it, just to do that rhythm. You're doing basic chords, but you're going to do this rhythm.
Yeah.
You got to do that for like 8 minutes while the fiddle player's going nuts and not speed up and slow down. So you do that. And
Yeah.
it's a challenge in and of itself just to be steady.
Just
Well, it's true. You got to always and
yeah.
for a long time, man. When you have a row of fiddle players, like, oh boy, here we go. Yeah. So. But jammed around with guys. Really, my band. It took a long time for my own band to happen, and that's with Mario Ossini and Dave Neal.
Yeah.
And they're older than I am, but I mean they're great guys. We just hit it off.
Yeah.
And we play great off of one another, and it's just a good combination, and we really try to keep that unit together as much as possible.
Yeah.
But Dave, he's also in the Beatles Help tribute band
and the Elton John band.
and the Elton John. So
Jeez.
I can't really do the McKibbins gig because I got to go here and play and make 500. But I'm like, okay, yeah, you go do that. It's all good, don't worry. But for the main things, like we played at the Ottawa Blues Fest, and
Yeah, that was awesome.
That came out. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Things like that, and studio work, and so.
And how did you connect to that? There's some questions I want to go back earlier.
Again, man, jams.
Oh, really?
I was really lucky because I came in at the end of Smoke Me Pete having the jams. He started back now, but he used to have them like 7 days or 5 days a week,
Right.
and had some of the top musicians in Montreal play there.
Mm-hmm.
So I met those guys there. That's how I met them, and that's how I learned and everything. So pretty much everyone I met was through there, which was great, and I'm very thankful about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about Dave. I've known Dave for a while, and I've had the opportunity to play with Dave on several occasions. The last iteration of, let's say my adult life. After the 2000s, I wanted to perform, but I didn't want to. I didn't have a fixed group of guys for a band. I don't know why that didn't. It just never gelled. Everyone was. Anyway, so every gig was hey, you free?
Yeah.
Free.
Well, there's a bit of. I have an answer to that, roughly, but I'm sorry, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, no, but I mean, and so Dave got calls on several occasions that I'm sure he only did because there was a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And not that we were such a great players, but I love playing with Dave. He's Marty and Dave are two of my favorite drummers that I know well, and I've played with more than once.
Yeah.
And they're very different. Marty is more technical, and very talented, and Dave is just more freestyle. When I watch him play,
he's very of the Bonham and that's cool.
yeah.
Animal. he is. And I love it when he wears his animal shirt and he's kind of like, oh yeah. But no, it's true. It's that style which I like that, or a Ginger Baker and Keith Moon style, because they're doing more than, and it's nothing wrong with the simple rock beat, but they're creative. They could just, like, their parts end up being part of the music. You know what I mean? One who did that too was Ringo, and Ringo did that too. I mean, when you listen to Ticket to Ride,
Yes.
that's not a regular. That's a part of the song. Like, you don't have that, then everything falls apart. So I always love Dave because he's very imaginative, and he creates a lot.
Yes.
And another guy I play with all the time too is Dan Legault, and I know that name. I'm sure you do. He plays with everybody. He's playing with Guy Belanger now, and he did his stuff with Eclipse, the Pink Floyd tribute. But I recorded my albums at his studio.
Okay.
And him too, and he's creative too. But I always I equate him a little bit more like Charlie Watts. Perfect in the groove. Doesn't have to do anything flashy, but he can if he wanted to. And sometimes when you get him to do it, he can. He could do it. But he's like, he keeps everything together, and you could set your watch by him. But for me, it's Dave and Dan that are, my two guys. And there's some other great drummers. JP Levesque, he's great. He's a great drummer too. Super nice guy. Martin's a great guy too.
Yeah.
Ken Allman, he's good people, and he give him he's a total pro. You give him a song, he'll learn the song, and let's go to the gate. We don't have to rehearse. Just, all right, I got it. Let's go. So I've been lucky in that regard, that the guys that I've, in my circle, they're great musicians, and they're good. They're good guys. I don't have to be like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with this freaking guy.
Yeah, isn't that a pain when you? You have to worry about personalities at a point, and it's like, oh no, I can't do this.
Exactly.
For a while, I did. I was booking bands and doing sound at the Chateau du Lac here in Hudson, and to me, the indicator, and especially it was a band I hadn't seen before, was the indicator of how easy the night was going to be was the drummer. The drummer would show up. If the drummer showed up with a 1970s Neil Peart kind of kit, I'd be
awesome.
Fuck me.
Awesome.
And then I don't have enough mics.
No, I know. I don't have enough mics for this crowd.
Excuse me. Yeah, I admire a drummer who can play on a minimalist kit.
Yeah, because you have to work.
You have to know how to make music with that.
You have to work more with less.
Yeah.
You got less to work with, but you got to be more creative with it. And I talked to Dan about that, because a lot of times, I'm in like 5 bands, but one of the bands I'm in is a Vintage Vibe, and we do a lot of the McKibben stuff, at the end of the month.
Oh, okay.
And he just tends to bring a snare and a hi-hat, and sometimes he'll bring a tom. Sometimes he will. But, just just like, it's like, well, there's 2 parts. One, it's playing these songs, but I got to try to challenge, okay, I only have this to work with, so I got to figure out what to do.
Yeah, there was a young drummer who passed away last year, Dan, I want to say, was it Dan Vesna? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Not Vesna. Dan. Anyway,
I know who you're talking. I forgot his name. Shit. Yeah.
He always reminded me of Kurt Cobain. He had that look and the hair. Anyway, and I remember he came in and played with somebody at the Chat, and I had to go talk to him. I said, I love your kit, man. It was, as you said, a snare.
Yeah.
I think there was a floor tom, maybe a crash ride, and a hi-hat, and that was it. And I'm like, and whenever one of those guys would show up with that tiny kit, I knew it was going to be a very rhythmic sound in the backbeat there, and I loved it. I admired drummers like that, and even Questlove. He's
Oh, yeah.
So he worked with Ludwig, and he came out with a kit that I almost wanted to buy just because I thought it was cool. And he said he designed the kit because if you're a New York drummer and you want to be able to throw your kit in the back of a taxi.
Yeah.
So it's minimalist. The kick drum is only like 14 inches or something like that. And
plus you got no space to. Yeah, you go to McKibben's downtown. There's no space to play.
Yeah.
So you got to be compact. I'm not bringing no stacks or anything. I never even played through a Marshall stack. One day, it's on the bucket list, but no, just compact, and you're squeezed in there and get nice and cozy. So
yeah, oh my God, yeah, it's
go with the bare minimum.
Yeah,
that's it. I would love to bring a few guitars so I could have this in open tuning here and this. I can't. All right, well, one guitar, maybe two sometimes, just in case I break a string. That's it.
Yeah, I always had two because we did. Well, I did. A lot of Rolling Stones stuff, and I needed a guitar in open G tuning.
Take the E string off.
But it was a place in Valois. I think it's is it not McKibben's? The other one, the other Old Orchard, Kelly's Orchard.
Kelly's Orchard, yeah.
Kelly's. So I used to play there a lot, and on the one hand, it was kind of a great gig because a lot of energy in the room. People came out to see live music when I was doing that. This is like the mid 2000s, and good energy there, but ridiculous room. You jammed into, basically in front of where the poker machines are. Here's
your stage. You're in the corner.
And then Liz is like, well, you have to leave a passageway so people can get it. I'm like, so you're standing there singing, and someone's literally walking behind you.
I've done that.
This is not fun.
I've been there. You're trying to walk, and you're just moving. I'm like, the worst is when they accidentally bump the mic and it whacks you right in the face.
Oh, yeah.
That's happened to me.
Oh,
I've gotten a good one, and I was like, oh my God, did I lose it? Because I know someone who did lose a tooth. I'm like, okay, no, I didn't, but hurt like hell. It's like,
I developed an instinct for it, and again, it was that Kelly's was the worst for it because the band was here, and the dancers were like standing there. You know, we didn't even have floor monitors or anything. They were off to the side, and I kind of developed an instinct when I could see the dancers getting. I'd immediately curve my lips around my teeth, and sure enough, it'd be bump, 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 and it was like. Oh yeah, that's
good times.
I
love it.
Oh, those times. Yeah. Or when I had a pretty extensive set list, everything from country rock to heavy rock, and one of the things I didn't really do because it wasn't my style was Stevie Ray Vaughan. Well, invariably. You get people coming up to you, play Stevie Ray Vaughan. I go, well, I got like 60 other songs here.
I know the one song
that the band, and I'll do it, but it's gonna be shit. But then all you have to do is and then they go mental, and it's like doesn't matter what you do.
You fake whatever. I faked a lot of stuff. Problem is lyrics. If I'm the one singing that night, it's like, oh God, I don't have the lyrics. I don't know what it is. I'll just mumble whatever.
Yes,
but people don't tend to notice or care a lot of times.
That's exactly.
They want to have fun or just get a bit of it.
Yeah.
So.
Well. So I didn't know you're playing with other bands. It's not just the Paolo Stante band. Yeah. You're doing other stuff.
I'm in like 5 of them.
How many nights a week do you gig?
Depending on,
on average.
On average, you get about 3. You get about the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A lot of them.
Nice.
Some off Saturdays or.
Do you do any solo like pub style acoustic or just
solo acts? No, I've done them in the past. They're okay. I mean, personally, I try to avoid it because it's not my thing, and I've worked with a looper, which is good, but it's a different beast altogether. And I learned out very quickly is just how fast you would speed up and slow down in a song, you lay down a loop and then okay, you click it back on to do a solo. I'm like, oh, this is slower than how I was singing it. So I needed to dive much more, work on that much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
a lot of times in pubs, I do a lot of dual work.
Right.
I mean, I
Sure.
do a duo with Dan.
Yeah.
He's a drummer, but he also plays guitar, rhythm guitar.
Okay.
And I also do a duo with Kenny Dupree.
Okay.
So I'm backing him up. And him and I, me, Kenny, Dan, and our buddy, the bass player, Pat Blanc, are in a band called Vintage Vibe. And we play at Old McKibbin's and do some corporate stuff here and there. And I got my band, the Paolo Stante band. But that's where I do the original work, and Mario and Dave are in that one. And also in a band with Kenny, another one called Rockology.
Oh, okay.
And that's a bigger band, and it's more of a I guess a show band in the sense that we play at places like
Distrant and stuff like
the
that.
Distrant, but Chez Maurice.
Okay. Oh, right.
And it's a rock medleys from we do like medley from Doobie Brothers, CCR, Led Zeppelin,
Sure. Yeah.
Pink Floyd,
Classic rock. Yeah.
some classic rock medley, very much in the 70s. And
How's
actually,
it
it's
playing
mostly
at
70s.
Chez Maurice? I've never
pretty
played
cool.
there. I've only been in there once or twice.
It's really cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I wish we could play there a little more often, but
Well, it's nice because it's a nice big stage and they have a professional sound
you can
system.
move a little bit too.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can't move. It's like, why don't you move around? It's like, I can't. There's nowhere to move.
I'm gonna bash somebody
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
gonna
face.
break
with
my
guitar.
headstock. I'm like, thanks. And Les Paul headstocks, you just look at them wrong and they could break. So it's like, jeez. But yeah, a nice big stage. It's a really cool room, a cool vibe, and I know some people that come out, some friends and friends in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the 80s, when I did most of my real playing, I mean, there was no shortage of gigs, and it was you could play 7 nights a week if you wanted to, if you were
Get paid really well for it.
well, really well for the time.
the time.
It's exactly the same pay today
Well,
as
see,
it
but-
was
but-
in the 1980s.
But again, in the 80s, it was worth more than what it is
Yeah.
now, and that's the problem.
Exactly.
And that kind of circles back to kind of what you were saying before when you were calling people up to jam. People are busy or for a gig.
Yeah.
The reason why you can't just it's very difficult to keep your main unit is because gigs are so far in between at times.
Yeah.
And people are just get here, or get an offer for a corporate thing. You got to understand to take that. And that's why I'm in 5 and 6 bands.
Yeah.
Because, okay, my band is playing, a couple times a month. Then I got this dual thing on a Thursday. For okay. And then at the end, so I that's why I've spread it out.
Yeah.
At one point, I got a little too. I spread myself a little too thin at one point, and whatever one-off gigs here and there, a corporate thing or someone needed me. Hey, are you free to do this? But you got to learn these songs for that. Sure, at the time I could do it. But after the pandemic, I really, like everybody, there was blood in the water, so we were all going after it. So that's when I just went. Really hoard myself out there, so paying for it now. But no, so far so good. So
yeah, that's why I now I'm talking in the 2000s era of my playing. I had to do the pub thing to stay busy. There just weren't enough band gigs to play, like locations to play, and It's really the live music scene is kind of different than what I grew up with.
See, unfortunately, it was already on the downslope. COVID pretty much just was the final nail in the coffin.
True.
For a lot of things, and then even people that want to see live music or go out, it's too damn expensive to go out.
Right.
To just go on a date or whatever, just to a pub. I took someone out a few months ago. It cost me like, what the hell? And we just had a beer and pub food, nothing thing. It was kind of crazy. So there's that. I mean, I always get upset because I play with guys your age and or in between, and younger, and they tell stories of the back in the day, the good old days. We did this even in the 90s. Play 7 days a week. We'd actually get this amount of money, and then afterwards we'd go to this place. It was an after hours, so to have breakfast, and I know the bands were there because everyone's off. And whatever, the strippers or whatever, everyone's closed. The bar people they can eat now, right? It's 4 a.m. in the morning.
Exactly.
Everyone's there, and you're just talking and having fun and
Shinois.
Shinois. Yeah, Shinois. I know. Jeez. And I heard they're closing. They're not 24 hours anymore. And I heard someone say they're closing. I'm like, oh man.
Well, so that reminds Shinois. That makes me think of. So I remember when they stopped cigarette smoking inside. That was the first nail in the coffin.
That's true. I mean, I agree. I'm not a smoker. I do agree with it because health wise, but I do. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I know it kind of screws things up.
And then we'd go. So we'd play the gig, and then we'd go to Shinois after.
Yep.
And you'd walk into Shinois, and it was just a fog all the way to the back of the restaurant. Everyone smoking cigarettes. It was truly disgusting. Waking up the next morning and your clothes are on the floor beside the bed, and you're like, oh,
it just stinks.
Is awful.
Open the windows. It's in the winter. Just open the windows anyway, man. You gotta get this out.
Oh, and you're talking about the after hours, but strippers showing up there. Well, one of my first gigs with a band that I was in the 80s was at the Miss Dorion. Where
sorry, when you said Miss Story, oh god, dude,
it's now condos and ghosts of strippers past still haunt the building.
Oh,
but they got the notion there. We were 50s and 60s retro band, and somebody there got the notion to on the weekends because they did their I mean. I'm sure at one time it was busy every day, but they did most of their business on the weeks when they had the truckers would come, stop there for the lunch.
Sure.
But on the weekends it was dead, and so they were trying to revive. They said, "Well, let's have a rock and roll band in," and we did literally like Elvis, Buddy Holly, the Beatles, retro 50s, 60s, and they had our dressing room. Was the dancers' dressing room. And there was, I'll never forget this. There was, and this is before Costco, a Costco-sized jar of what I called perfume / disinfectant.
Oh, yeah.
And that smell got up my nose. And for some reason, I'd wake up the next morning and my clothes had glitter all over. So we played this. We played the Miss Dorion, and the first night I remember. It was pretty quiet, but the dancers were dressed up in poodle skirts and the whole 50s and thing.
Yeah, okay.
And at one point, it was in a long room, and one of the dancers working as a server, and she comes like skipping up towards us on the stage, and she's lifting her poodle skirt up like they do, but she's not wearing anything.
Well, yeah, I mean...
And
maybe she was warm. I don't know.
It was kind of one of those Blues Brothers moments.
Yeah, I know. So that's a dream, man. To open a club like that in the second Blues Brothers.
Oh God,
that'd be great.
What did I wanted to ask you? Okay, so your other bands are a variety of music, classic rock and stuff,
classic rock and funk and.
But your original music, the Paolo Stante band with Mario and Dave, you do your own. How many albums do you have out now?
I actually have 4 albums out.
Okay.
And I released a single just in January, but the single is actually a cover of Don Henley's "Dirty Laundry."
Oh yeah.
That came out really good. I'm really proud of that one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, four albums. It's all available on Spotify, Apple, all the streaming platforms, and I still have some good old-fashioned CDs.
No vinyl?
I knew you were going to ask that. No vinyl yet, but the next one I really want to get vinyl, but it is freaking expensive. And I would have to sell the vinyl at premium. There's just no choice because it's too expensive. It's not like, yeah, okay, $10 for a CD or $15. No. it's so I would love a vinyl for the next album, and I'm hoping well, last year I did these videos. I recorded at the barn.
The barn, yes, I've watched some of them.
You watched some.
Yeah.
So a funny
Great
thing.
venue.
That funny thing is that those are the owners of that is Brian and Elizabeth Cadell, and they were my high school teachers.
Oh, nice.
And the teacher that signed me up for everything is Elizabeth Cadell. So.
Oh wow.
So they were kind enough to let me use their place, and I wanted to do a kind of a live from Daryl's thing, which it came out really good. So
yeah,
I was just listening to it a few months ago. I was like, you know what, the audio is good too. Why don't we just mix it a little bit more, and just release it as we weren't. I mean, there were some people there, but it wasn't a live audience. But we were playing live off the floor.
Okay.
One take. Oh, let's do a two. Okay, no overdubs. We were just playing. Two, maybe three takes a song, depending on the song. There were a couple we actually got in the first take. We're like, all right, that's good. So want to release like the barn sessions on just digitally.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to do that next month. So just to have them there, and because we went back to play live some of the earlier stuff from like the first two albums, which I'm younger and had no less money, so it's like, okay, that's rough, and my singing definitely was not up to it, but it was it's a good stepping stone. Like I am happy that each one got better and better and better and better and better. So I'm hoping that the next album is better than the last one, which is Lawless, which is that one got a little bit of steam, a few plugs on Shom from Blau Butt and Howl.
Yeah,
they were kind enough to give me a few plugs on that thing, and
terrific.
Yeah, and people who've heard it and heard us play the songs and heard the album, they really responded well to it.
Yeah,
it's just getting more people to hear it. That's always the trick. But
that is the eternal struggle for musicians getting their stuff out there. But I mean, it is nice that you can self-publish.
I know, but again, everything's a double-edged sword, because you could self-publish, you could do things yourself. The technology, you could have great sounding. I'm not even talking about going through plugins or anything. You could have great sounding just here in your room.
Yeah.
But the problem is that if you want, it's so much going on, it kind of gets buried in the noise. And there are some really great new acts out there, but you don't hear about them because it's just underneath whatever the record companies that are left, they just push. Yeah. And I always find something that's really BS that I do have to call out on is, I guess the companies now, all they're interested in is they'll look at you if you already have 1 million subscribers or 1 million streams or things like that. Mm-hmm. Then they'll sign you to whatever. But my point is, like, if I already have 1 million and over 1 million, why the hell would I need you?
Yeah.
Why? I did all the work.
Right.
I did it. Yeah. I don't need you at that point. I thought the whole point of a company is to publish and to, hey, there's a new artist here, and to get them known.
Yeah, I don't know how artists like yourselves, young artists coming up, navigate that.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
You don't have? Do you have a business manager, or do you?
No, some business. Luckily my father, his background is in law.
Oh, okay.
So just to make sure I don't get hamstrung or anything. As in terms of finding like booking agents or anything like that, I don't really have one. I've dealt with some to get into the festivals.
Sure.
But, I'm still kind of looking for a proper representation in that sense.
And do you have someone who manages your social media presence?
Nah, that's really just me.
Wow.
And I don't do a very good job at it because I hate it so much, even though I know it's important and this and that. It's just I don't like the idea of always being glued to your phone.
God, yeah.
Like I'm doing this instead of what I'm supposed to be doing, the work. It's part of the job, but it shouldn't. artists today have to be everything. They have to be their own PR guy. They have to be their own producer or engineer, or things like that.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to be that way. It's great to know how to mix and master, and that's something that I'm learning. I'm teaching myself how to do it.
Right.
Because I would like to learn.
Yeah.
But it's not what all of the greatest bands and artists came before. They didn't do that stuff.
No, no. They but
like the marketing. I mean, there were ones that took over because they were getting ripped off. I think
Right.
the Rolling Mick Jagger.
yes,
He went back to business because they were broke until all the hits that they had in the '60s. They were broke until the '70 whatever. Then they took it over so then they could get their money because they
Yeah.
were getting ripped off.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's but yeah. I guess there's no perfect formula.
I don't know.
I hate doing social media myself. I do just what I have to
Yeah.
put this out, you know.
But I only ever use it. I never really get personal. I actually rarely do. I only ever post things of my dog or cats, you know, and because I love animals, and whenever I'm playing or where I'm playing, and I do. I have to start doing them again. I kind of gotten really busy this summer, but my Tuesday noodles, where I just literally just play guitar over something or whatever, just like a minute long for the reels and whatnot. That's literally me noodling on the guitar just to get more views and stuff and things like that.
Right.
And I did I actually got one. Well, at the time of this recording, tomorrow will be Tuesday, so I'll have one coming out.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Again, it's just a minute long, but something for Godin guitars.
Oh, nice.
And they lent me some guitars to try out. Actually, I have one of them now. They gave me a deal on it, but it's a really cool guitar, so that's what's going to be on it. But I wanted to get stuff for them too, because to help with the online presence.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would love. I'm one of their artists now. It happened last December, but I told them, it's like I would love to be the guy that demos the guitars. You know, you see like rig rundown or a premium guitar or whatever. I was just give me the guitar to play it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to say certain things in French or in English, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I can. We'll give the specs. I would love to be that dude. You know, just do that stuff.
That's a nice day job to have.
And not a bad day job. Get a few bucks and you just get to play guitar all day.
Yeah. Can you read charts? Like
No, it's I'm not sure if you ever knew this, because again we've worked together but never had a conversation. I'm actually legally blind.
Okay.
So charts, the music, seeing stuff on the music, music notes, it's very difficult for me.
Yeah.
I have to get it, like I know where G is and F and
Right.
on the staff, but I have to get it so big for me to see it.
Yeah.
That one bar is like almost the size
whole
of the page, so
screen,
it makes no sense. So I do everything by ear.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking if maybe you could get like any session work or stuff like that.
I've done some session work, but luckily it's just okay. These are the chords, or they give me the demo or whatever, and I listen to it, and they tell me to give me okay, what do you want? And I'll do this or do this, make it sound like this, things like that. They did it. Just because I can't give. Okay,
Sure.
here's a chart sight read.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't just because I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I can read the music. I can't do it in real time. Like
Sight reading.
Sight reading.
That's something else too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to your gig at the Ottawa Blues Fest, which, from my experience, is less of a blues fest as just a music fest. But you got on
more
a
and
blues
more.
stage.
Yes, one of the stages. It was a cool setup too. That because it was a nice big stage, and it was actually it was behind the main one. It was in its own little section, but it was right next to the food court, and it was kind of in a tent. And once we started playing, people just showed up, and it was full.
Okay.
And they had a speaker and a jumbotron outside the tent, so then when you peek around the corner, you see people there, and they just migrated, and it was a really cool turnout. But I went there, and I really wanted to play blues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not blues, pure blues.
No,
We did one,
sure.
but I wanted to. First of all, that is my thing, and second of all, it's what the festival was based on. And I even gotten a couple of compliments from someone. Said, I was coming here when it was blues, and you brought me back to that time. So thank you. And it was a really nice compliment. So I'm like, thank you. And people stopped me on just walking around. Oh man, your set was great. So it was a fun experience. It was the first time I played that festival, and God willing, I get to play it again. So
yeah, well, the clips I saw looked fantastic, and you guys were really hot at that for that show. So good for you.
Thanks.
What have you got planned for the rest of the summer?
More gigs, more local stuff.
Besides the tractor work.
Tractor work, yeah. I gotta head back to my folks and spend 5 hours on the tractor today. Take advantage of no rain.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah. There was. You can check my website, paolostante.com, or follow me on
I'll put
Facebook,
the links on the thing. Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram. I always post whenever I'm playing, and I have more of a full schedule, or at least of 10 weeks on the website. It kind of shows up 10 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
But this coming Wednesday, out in Ontario, playing at the Grotto, which is another venue.
Where's that?
It's in Alexandria. It's another
it is?
thing. Again, it has to do with Brian and Elizabeth Cadell. They started that series of shows.
Nice.
It's really nice.
Alexandria is becoming a happening town.
Yeah, I guess so. Who'd have thought? I sure didn't. And this week's busy. And Thursday with Vintage Vibe at Tapas, Ole Tapas, and
I've heard of that.
And it's a new place in St. Anne de Bellevue, and played Dukes and Divine as a duo on Friday in Vaudreuil with Dan, and and Saturday. Another duo with Kenny.
Any other
like
festivals?
But festival-wise, the next big one is September 11th at the VIP on Blues.
Okay.
It's in El Perro, Vaudreuil. No, it's in El Perro somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I don't have times yet, but keep a lookout on that one.
Yeah, well,
And,
like I said, I'll post your schedule on with this.
just the website. It'll,
yeah.
Like I said, the website has dates, but only of 10 weeks. It's just how the website works. It just cycles through it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Paolo, I want to thank you for coming out today and chatting with me.
Thank you for having me.
I've gotten to know you a bit better.
Oh.
And
I don't want to know you anymore, right? Is that it?
No, I was going to say, I always suggest to the guests that love to have you back sometime. We can talk more.
Yeah, sure.
There's many topics.
Sure.
We kind of go all over the place, right? And a popular topic these days is AI and the impact on your life. And do you use it as a tool?
No, I don't. There it is. Done.
Yeah.
No.
It is too one of those double-edged swords. It's a great productivity thing.
I know what the idea behind it and what you're trying to get to, it's very, like in Star Trek, computer do this or whatever. Yeah, it's great. But computer write a song for me and do this and make it that. Yeah. That's not so good.
No. That crosses the line. But
it's supposed to be for additional information. How do I do this or to teach whatever or things like that, not to replace you doing stuff. But
and as you get into more of your own home recording and stuff, you'll find that there's AI tools which are very helpful in doing tools, doing stuff. Yeah,
and you need the right tool for the right job.
Right.
You use it as a tool.
Yeah,
that's fine. Fair enough. But typing in something, I need you to write these lyrics for this to make it sound like John Lennon and whatever, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No. I mean, what's the point?
There's not.
Although. Anyway, we're going off.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Now you got me going, man. What the hell? Part 2 in now 6 months or something like that. Sure.
Exactly. And another one of the guests here had suggested. See, I originally had this notion of we'll do a musical break and the guest, you can pick up a guitar or do whatever, and then I started running into the copyright police on.
Oh yeah.
Not so much for the podcast, but when I post the video on YouTube, they
it's a
even my theme song, which I've got the license for, they hit me every week, and I'm like, can I just get a blanket? Like, here's the... Anyway,
Yeah.
so, but somebody did suggest having a writer's circle, having some guys in and just making up a song and, going through that process. What would you like to do here? How do you want to structure this song? And just working it out. That would be a fun little exercise, and you get to know some other musicians. It's not really a jam session.
No, it's a writing session. Yeah.
It's a writing session. I think that could be fun, but
could be fun.
I'd have to plan for it.
And not to get. You don't want too many cooks in the kitchen too, right? Because they're like, oh, this, and I don't like that.
This goes back to the discussion.
It does.
Egos.
Well, it's not even an ego thing. It's just sometimes it's just a different thing, And I like to think I do a pretty decent job of keeping my ego in check. Actually, some people tell me I should have more of an ego. I'm like, nah, I'm chill.
Well, you wouldn't be here if you had more of an ego.
Okay, good.
There you go. You're a very down-to-earth guy, and I've always liked working with you, and I appreciate what you're working on and your music.
Thank you, man.
And wish you luck for the rest of the summer, and I will definitely reach out to you again sometime later in the year.
Yeah, I'll be down.
See what's going on. All right. Cheers,
Thank
bud.
you, sir.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right, that's a wrap. Huge thanks to Paolo Stante for pulling up a stool and hanging out. If you liked what you heard, go check him out. Support local music, go to a show, buy some merch, and make some noise. And before we go, one last check-in. How's your stool? I'm Dave Randall, this is Howz Yer Stool, and we'll catch you next time. This has been a Bandit Monterey production.